Hey everyone, in the last video we built this landing page for our Springfield International Soccer Club and we finished it off building this page, but there are a couple of components that which we do not require. Let's go ahead and fix them now. So let's get rid of these links and also the responsive, because we will not be keeping these. And let's try. Okay. Everything looks good. So now in this episode we are going to continue installing Filament V4 beta. So let's head over to the installation page, and it says because it's still in beta we need to change the composer minimum stability to beta. So go into your composer.json file, scroll all the way down and change it to beta. Now let's go ahead and run composer require filament v4. So let it run. Looks like we're done, and we will be installing the panels, and I'm simply going to name it admin because this is only available for admin. I will be showing start it on GitHub, so let's say no. And we have the option to make a filament user, but we'll skip it for now. So if everything worked as expected, if we visit /admin, we have a filament login page, and what this would have done is in your app providers there is an admin panel provider which configures filament. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to try and add a simple resource page for a admin panel provider, which is going to be a players page, because we'll have many players and admins need a way to manage those players. So let's go ahead and run php artisan make model player, and we'll do a migration file, a factory file in a seeder. This is standard Laravel, so we have the model file now. Let's go into the database migration and the players, and let's say we'll have a string for first name. Let's duplicate that for the last name, and we'll do a string full name, and this is going to be a virtual column, and it's going to be a concatenated version of the first name and the last name. We'll probably also require a string email, which is going to be unique, and a string of contact number. Let's keep it nullable, and let's also do a string for let's see here. So a player is going to play at a specific position in soccer, so but a particular player can also play two different positions. So we can try to do it as a long text or maybe text. I'm just going to call it positions. Let's keep these for now. We will keep adding more as we see fit. So let's try and grab the column names here, go back and try to fill these out with cedar. So this is going to be first name, and we'll use faker. Duplicate that with the last name. We don't need a full name because it's a virtual column, so we can skip this. Email is going to be unique. Let's save email. We need a contact number, which is going to be phone number, and positions. Now this is not a job title, but it's probably going to be, let's see if we can generate a JSON. Well, let's just do random. Let's figure this out. Faker JSON. I'm assuming that we will be going ahead with JSON, so it can simply be an array, and I think Largo will convert that. So we can say random elements. Let's see. We'll start from GK, which is schoolkeeper, right back, left back, center back, midfield, right wing, left wing, and striker. We'll just keep these for now. And let's go into the database seeder and say player factory create. Let's create 10. Alright, so let's go ahead and run php artisan migrate --seed. Looks like we're done. And now I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a page or a resource using Filament for the generated model. So all you have to do is go into php artisan, make filament resource, and then say player, and then -- generate. It's asking what's the name of the attribute, title attribute. So we'll probably keep it as email for now. Would you like to generate a read-only view page? I would say yes. And what this does is, under the app filament resources, it creates the player's resource, and you can see that it tried to read from all the column values we have in the migration file, and it tried to generate the form using those fields. Now it did generate one for full name, but we don't want that since it's a generated column, but others I think we're good. So first of all, let's make this a select component instead of a text area, and this is going to be multiple, and this should probably be a enum, but let's try to go ahead and generate that enum class here. So I'll put that into enums directory, make a new php class and call it player position. This is an enum, and we can start duplicating the exact thing we had So let's say goalkeeper, and it needs a string here. And Filament also provides implements a contract called let's see, I think it's called has label. Yes, so we'll add that little stuff, and under here we will say return this value. So it's going to return the goalkeeper for the value, but the actual value is going to be the GK that goes into the database. So let's try and duplicate this: left back, center back, left wing, right wing, and we also need a striker. We need a midfield. And mind you, it's not the complete entire list, but we don't really care right now. What we are going to do is we're going to see how it works, and then as the need arises, we will go ahead and keep adding more. So under options, I'm going to say player position, and look at the class. I could probably bring this up, and let's try. Okay, so in order now, I think we should be good to view. In order to try this, we'll probably go ahead and run the command to create a new filament admin user. So let's go ahead and run the command, and we'll just say .com, and I think we should be good. So let's go ahead under /admin and try to log in with just the account we just created. So we have Prasad, and there we go. We are under the filament dashboard now, and you can see that the players is already here. We can click on it, and now we can try to fill out information. Let's try this. And you can see the drop down is nice and gives you all the searchable options. I'm going to pick myself as a midfielder and create. If we have a mass assignment issue, we know how to solve this, so we'll quickly go under models, players. There are multiple ways to solve this. I like to mark them guarded as null. I love how it gives you. So there's another issue: array string conversion. Positions. I think it's exactly because of the positions, and what we need to do here for this is go projected and dollar cost. Positions is going to be an array. Let's see if this fixed it. So click on create, and looks like it did. So now here what you see is a view page for the exact same resource that we created now. You can customize it because this is the view page under filament resources players pages, and it's the view player. And for this particular page, the resource the form schema comes from the player info list. So let's try to put these under sections and see how it works. So we want to import section, but it should be, let's say we call it player details, and then it has a schema. There are quite a few things that have changed under Filamentphp V4. So even I'm working with this for the first time, so I'm not really sure how and what I'm doing wrong, but we'll see. We'll get to know more as we keep building. So if I refresh this, there it is. We have a section for all these columns now. Let's try and make it columns by 4, and we'll try to divide them into columns. So we'll say empty onwards, it should be 2 column. Perfect. We are missing the positions though, so let's go under filament info list. Try to find the key value. So the key value data pairs for one-dimensional JSON object. Let's try this. So we'll put it under a different section, positions. Probably we don't need this. Let's try to put it under the same. So key value entry, make positions. Let's see what changes. Awesome. Interesting. So probably we do not want the key value positions because it's taking the identifiers as keys, which is 0, 1, 2, and so on. So possibly we could do text entry, and there is a list with line breaks. Probably we could do a badge and see how this affects. Awesome. So let's go ahead and try to edit it and possibly add another. Let's say I play right wing, I also play striker. Let's save these changes. Now let's go back here and click view. There we go. So now it lists all the values that we have. Awesome. Now that we have seen how to create the resources, what I would want to do is all this admin page should only be available to the admins. So whoever has an admin role, they'll be able to log in into this. But another thing that we need to do before we even get deeper into Filament is, let's go and do get started, and we'll try and search for advanced. Interesting. So previously in Filament V3, so let's see here, there was a step that you have to take under the users model, which is implement filament user, and then it also used to have a can access panel method wherein you would determine who is able to access your panel. But looks like under Filament V4 this is not the case. I'm trying to find if they put it somewhere else. Let's try and go and see it under users probably. There it is. So let's head over to our app models user, and we'll say implements filament user, and this contract now provides us with the method can access panel, and we'll scroll down, and here you can determine, let's say we have a specific email equals sad@test.com. So only the user with this email address will be able to access this admin panel. So let's try and go create a new user in our database. While we are at it, I just realized that we are still using the SQLite. So how about we go and create a MySQL database for this. So we'll say SISC. Looks like I already have a database with that. Let's go ahead and delete. Create a new one. Open that up. Let's go into our AD. Under the database, I'm going to say MySQL. The database name is SISC, and I can keep the rest of the details. Let's try and run PHP RTSync. Interesting. It says MySQL not found, so let's head over to config database. Are we doing something wrong? Well, in this situation, the best way to do is copy it, go to Google, and according to this post, I should try and clear the config and clear the cache. Okay, and cache again. So we'll also need to run PHP RTSync migrate and seed. Okay, let's head over to our database. Oh, looks like it worked. So all we had to do was clear the cache. Let's try, and now we also want to do the user again. So PHP RTSync make filament user. So remember, this is our old user that should have access to the admin page. So we'll go ahead and log in. Looks like this user still has access, so let's sign out. And now we'll just simply go ahead and, well, there's a test user directly here. And if I go into database factories, user factory, password is password. So test@example.com should not have access to the filament admin panel. So let's try and log in. These credentials do not match our records. Password. Interesting. Why don't we go ahead and create a new user ourselves. So we'll say test user, also test2 at test.com, and we'll probably copy the same password for now. awesome. So we do test to test.com and put in the password. So looks like they do not have access. Let's try and give an access to them. So if we simply say return true and try to log in, there we go. Now this test user has an access to the admin panel. This is a beginning of how you can do it, but this can access panels is supposed to be more of a generalized way of who needs to have access, but there is, if you want to do deeper about roles and permissions, what I'd like to do is go to this plugins page for Filament and look for a plugin called Shield. And if you know Shield, it uses the spaCy Laravel permissions package under the hood to roll out the the roles and permissions and setup, and it also provides a lot of boilerplate for admin management from the panel itself. So let's try ahead. I'm not sure if these people have released it for Filament V4 beta, but let's go ahead and give it a try. So composer require, it looks like they did. You can see that it also downloaded the spaCy Laravel permissions package, and let's keep following the docs. So we publish the config file. This should probably be the default, so we'll not touch this unless we see any issues. And it says under the users you have to write has roles, use the trait. So let's head over to our user. Let's say use has roles, and let's double check that it's from the spaCy people. Correct. And let's run PHP artisan shield setup. This now everything should be set up, and this is to, I think, install command register the plugin for panel automatically. Use juicy region appropriate. We are not using tenancy, so I think we should be good with the first. Now if I head over to the dashboard, okay, so the reason why we're getting forbidden is because even though this user has access to the, well, I don't think we changed it, right? So let's go over here and say return true. Okay, so now we do not see links to manage the roles and permissions, is because this Shield plugin requires its own user with a specific permission. So what we are going to do is we're going to run PHP artisan shield. I think it's shield admin. Oh, shield super admin. So let's go ahead and do shield super dash admin, and we'll give the super admin role to the second user. And so if you refresh, this user is not going to see any links to that, but let's go ahead and switch the user. And now you can see that the super admin user has access to roles. Now currently there's only one role registered, but that's fine. We'll keep adding more as we see fit. But so far we have successfully set up all the things that would be required to run the admin panel. In the next episode, we are going to continue developing this app and probably do more resources, because we will also, the admin should also be able to manage the game time, game schedules, and so on. We will also possibly look into converting this page. Oh, interesting. I think we lost our styling because of the dev. There we go. So yeah, we'll continue possibly changing this page on and make it a filament landing page. So if you come under resources, and I think it's called custom, it should be called custom pages. I know it was called pages in the previous version, so let's go to documentation. This is filament 3, by the way. Yeah, it was called pages. Let's try to find this here. Resources, tables, keys, forms. I don't. Panel configuration. Interesting. This is something different that we had. Well, no, I think it was under a different link here in the previous version, but there should be pages. Let's search for pages. There we go, custom pages. It's under the navigation. Okay, so yeah, we'll try to make a custom page out of this, just because it allows us to use all the filament components like forms, tables, widgets, whatever you would find under the resources into the custom page, which is much more verbose, and it allows us to do many things that with filament that we would possibly take forever to build on our own. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.